At this point, it's time to congratulate yourself because you have made tremendous progress now that you have also completed your big goals. This was probably the hardest part. There's still a lot to come, but this we have completed. We have a clear vision now where we want to go. But where we want to go is not enough. We need to model more. We're in this modeling phase still. And the next step in that modeling phase is your SWOT with its key initiatives. Now, if we want to go on a journey and we know our destination, then we can only start planning our journey when we know our point of departure. Just like with Google Maps. You know your destination, you know where you want to go. That's what we did so far. Now we type it in, we want to calculate our route. But what does it need first? Our GPS location. Where are we right now? That is what we will do with SWOT. You remember this structure of purpose. How we translate why and belief to mission, vision, values, and further down into actually daily tasks for everyone in the organization. Call it the structure of purpose. You also remember that we have this inspiring part. Yeah, that's that why, that beliefs, mission, vision, values. With this we inspire people in an organization and instill purpose in them. But just having a shared purpose is not enough. We want more. And that is how we make the purpose actionable, by having those big goals. They are an expression of our inspiring part, but much more actionable because we know we can work on those. We can do stuff to get there. 4 big goals, right? Now it's time to make that practical. How on a day-to-day basis are we going to work with that purpose and get our people aligned? The SWOT analysis is the first step to connect that actionable part with the practical part. And here's how that goes. It's a departure point. SWOT is where we are right now. So the question is, where are you right now? And that's what we do with the SWOT. You probably heard of the SWOT before. And here's a brief summary of what it expresses. It is done yearly, at least yearly. There might even be a benefit to do it twice per year, but at the minimum, once per year, you do a deep SWOT. And you're looking first internally. What are our strengths? What is increasing the speed and likelihood of our success? Where are our low-hanging fruits? Then also internal, we have weaknesses. These are internal and they reduce the likelihood of our success and reduce the speed. This is where our blind spots are. Okay? Then we move to external, where we have opportunities. Opportunities are external. They also increase likelihood of success, and they have the potential to make us an all-star. Now, this could be a unicorn, it could be a disruptor, it could be number one in a niche, it could be anything. But those sit probably in the opportunities that we have. And then we have the threats. External as well, reduce likelihood of success, or even might put us out of business when we do not do anything to mitigate those. These are what are our risks, our threats. Now that's a SWOT analysis. Now let's look at why minimum once per year a SWOT analysis. Well, it brings clarity on your big goals. Right now we do it, we get clarity on our big goals. You do it in a year, you will rethink your big goals. Are those still the ones that we should go after? Or should we amend them? Or should we have different ones? Or did we achieve them and we were not ambitious enough when we achieve our big goals within a year? Then the SWOT analysis gives you the key initiatives. We'll come to that. The key initiatives is what keeps your team busy, productive. That is what the key initiatives do. Also, a SWOT drives strategic planning, because just like what we did with the big goals exercise, we're looking at what are our obstacles. Strategy is about overcoming obstacles. And SWOT is about the same thing. How can we use strengths and opportunities to overcome our obstacles, our weaknesses, our threats? And out of our SWOT will come more and more clear where are we going to put the pins on the map and plan our route. Plus, the key initiatives, the SWOT, will feed our OKRs. Once we will go into the topic of OKRs, objectify in the next round, that's where you will see that everything we did in the big goals comes together with everything we do with SWOT and key initiatives, and that will actually feed our objectives, key results for the year and for the quarters. Now, I always get the question like, okay, how should I do then? What should I do afterwards with this SWOT when I have written down my strengths and weaknesses? Well, question yourself, how can we build on our strengths? Yeah, because if we have a strength, why not maximize them? Why not get more out of them? With our weaknesses, we want to see how can we improve that? If we have a weakness that reduces our success, what can we do to improve it? Can we improve it? Then, are there external opportunities we must invest right now? Like, have we been putting this off for way too long, knowing that this opportunity could be the game changer for our business? And when it comes to threats, what threats are so big that if we would not mitigate them and it happens, it could put us out of business? That are the questions you ask yourself once you have written down everything in your SWOT. Now, let me give you an example, okay? So you always start with strengths. SWOT, strengths. Okay, here we go. One of our strengths could be teamwork, right? That's a great strength to have. Nailed it. Or did we? No, that's not a strength. It's a word. This doesn't express a strength. If teamwork is our strength, what makes this our strength? Why is this better than somewhere else? Right? It can only be a strength when it's somebody else's weakness, or at least less of a strength. And how can we use this strength? We want to go in depth when we answer the question, what are our strengths? Here's how it could look like. This is what the real strength is. Everyone on the team has a passion for what they do, and we're better than others in attracting A players who feed our performance culture, and that makes strong teamwork. Do you see that this goes a lot further? We're still talking about teamwork, but we understand much better what are our real strengths. And with that, we can do something. With that, we are going into key initiatives. Now, what are key initiatives? Okay, back to this. Mission, vision, values, our 4 big goals, and then we have SWOT. First, we only had a destination. Now, when we have done a SWOT, we have a point of departure. We have created a gap. We can stand on one side of the coast with our binoculars, and we can actually see what is the gap that we need to bridge in order to achieve our goals. SWOT creates that gap between our destination, where we want to be, and where we are right now. And when we have that knowledge, when we know what this gap is, we know what it is that we need to do, we want to do in order to bridge that gap. And those things that we want to do, that's what we call key initiatives. Okay? This is what gets us from where we are right now to where we want to be. Those key initiatives eventually come into our objectives and key results. Be it in a different form, but the key initiative is like the food for the OKR framework. Let me give you some examples. Let's take our strength. Everyone on the team has a passion for what they do, and we're better than others in attracting A players who feed our performance culture. That makes strong teamwork. Cool. How can we build on our strengths? Well, we could start a campaign, initiative, starting something is an initiative, to share our passion publicly, and that way attract more A players even faster and more efficient. That's one potential key initiative that will build on our strengths and help us bridge that gap from where we are to where we want to be. Another example could be, well, if we are such a performance culture and we have such a high level of teamwork, why don't we start documenting all that we do that makes our team so strong, so that when we get new A players on board, they get much faster at their top speed, right? Another potential key initiative that will help us bridge that gap. That is what key initiatives are. Eventually, those key initiatives then feed an objective. What do we want to achieve in the next quarter, next year? How do we break it down into key results? That's for later. For now, just remember SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, feed key initiatives, which is what we need to do to bridge from where we are right now to where we want to be. You get the point. Next up, go to your Miro board and complete your action drill for SWOT and key initiatives. If you have any questions, let me know. Let's get it.